So hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to Creatrix. Welcome to an academy. So in these sessions, we are going to start the communication system and we are going to study the communication system like never before. So before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Vishal Soni and I have cleared ESC examination 2 times, both times in double digit rank. And I have also served as a Group A Gazetted Officer in Indian Railways and in Indian Telecommunication Services. And I have also cleared a lot of public sector examinations. So right now I'm teaching on an academy and I really feel proud to be the part of the Unacademy team, because Unacademy is the revolution in the field of free education and in the field of affordable education. And we as a team are really looking forward for every student to just come onto the Unacademy platform. You can attend the special classes, you can come onto this YouTube channel and you can stay connected with us so that you can understand the quality education and you can understand the efforts that we are putting in, so that every student of this country, whether he stays in a village or he stays in a town, should get the access of the content, that too in a very affordable prices, and he can also or she can also clear the examination with the best possible ranks. So right now I'm teaching on Unacademy with more than 15 million watch minutes in the overall duration and 2 million watch minutes in the last 30 days. So I am right now the top educator in Unacademy across all the branches, having rank 4 right now. And you can also follow me on Unacademy on this particular link. So you can go and follow me on Unacademy. Apart from that, my advice to every student is that how should you crack the examination and what are the components to cracking the examination. So the first question that comes to the mind, that can anyone prepare from the YouTube? Yes, you can prepare from the YouTube, but you should develop or cultivate some habits in yourself. For example, you should be very much disciplined. You should arrange the extra resources. For example, the PDFs you have to arrange, the test series you have to arrange by yourself, and most importantly, that self-discipline you should be containing in yourself, so that you can be very corrective manner and you can approach the examination in the best possible manner. So all these things you have to arrange yourself. The sense of competitiveness you have to cultivate in yourself, because the audience on the YouTube are not that much of competitive in nature, or maybe you cannot feel the competition which is present right now. So all these things are the part of the journey if you want to prepare through the YouTube, or maybe if you want to prepare through the free resources. Apart from that, if you want that you should get complete content, then this is the YouTube channel. On this YouTube channel itself, all the free content are available. You just have to go to the playlist. All the subjects are completed there. You just have to go and watch all the lectures one by one. Definitely will be getting benefited. But the extra things that I have told you, that the self-discipline and the sense of competitiveness and a lot of things you have to arrange by yourself. If you are comfortable in that, then you can do that. Apart from that, you should also have an Unacademy learning app, so that the special classes you can attend. A lot of educators in this country are actually providing the special classes, that too absolutely free of cost, so that you can get the quality content in the best possible manner. Apart from that, there is also another component for you, which is Unacademy Plus. So on Unacademy Plus, what is your job? You just have to study. If you join this Unacademy Plus, you do not have to worry about the crash courses, weekly test, doubt solving sessions, the language barrier, rank improvement batches, live classes. So all these things will be taken care by the Unacademy. You just have to take the Unacademy Plus subscription and you have to come on to the Unacademy. You will be daily getting the live classes. You will be getting the crash courses. When you will be getting the crash courses? When the syllabus are completed. You will be getting the weekly test in the form of quizzes. Every fourth class is the doubt solving session, which is the major you can say the component or the major impact will be creating on your studies will be this doubt solving group. Because until and unless your doubts are not being cleared, until and unless you are not able to clear your doubts, you will never get the confidence in the subject. So once you come on to this Unacademy Plus, every fourth class is doubt solving session. Apart from that, various other doubt solving sessions are going on. So ultimately you will be getting your doubts cleared and you will gain confidence in the subject. The language barrier will not be an issue, because the batches will be running both Hindi and in English, and rank improvement batches will also be there. So all these things are the component of this Plus subscription. Once you come on to this Unacademy Plus, you do not have to be worried about your self-discipline, your competitiveness nature. Everything will be present on Unacademy, because a lot of other students will be there. Since the classes will be live, you can also watch it recorded later on. So the discipline automatically comes, because you get the idea that you will be having the daily live classes. Apart from that, there is also one Iconic subscription. In this Iconic subscription, the game changer is this personal coach. So this subscription is for them who thinks that their basics are weak, or those who are talented but they needs a continuous push. So this personal coach will be guiding you throughout your strategy. he will be giving you the study planners, you will be getting the study booster sessions. Once you will get the test, you will be getting the analytics. Analytics plays a major role in improving yourself. We as a teacher also get our analytics so that we can improve on the daily basis. So once you start getting the analytics, you will be also improving massively on the daily basis. Apart from that, there will also be the guidance for the mains once you clear the prelims, and there will also be the guidance for the interview once you clear the mains. So once you take the Iconic subscription, all the benefits of the Plus are included by default in this. And if you take the Plus subscription, then also these things will be included in that, though, so that will also create impact in your preparation, so that you just have to study rest of the things.
Hello friends, welcome to this lecture of communication system. So in this lecture, we'll try to understand what is a random process. So I will denote this random process with RP. So first of all, I will divide this random process into two broad categories. First one is your real random process, and second one is complex random process. So our main focus in this lecture will be on real random process. We will study in detail what is a real random process and its tools and many more things, and in the end we will see a little bit about this complex random process. So first of all, let us try to understand what is this real random process. So before understanding the real random process, let me give a brief about this real random variable. So you have already studied this real random variable. So what was real random variable? A real random variable was a real valued function which assigns a real value to each sample point of a sample space obtained by performing a random experiment. So real random variable was a real valued function which was used to assign a real value to each sample point of a sample space, and this particular sample space was obtained by performing a random experiment. So we have seen that if we have a sample space which contains sample points, let's for example say lambda 1 and lambda 2. So this particular function, which was a random variable, this used to take this lambda 1 as input and try to generate a particular value of x of lambda 1, and here also it used to take this lambda 2 as input and try to generate x of lambda 2, and these particular x of lambda 1 and lambda 2 used to lie on a real line, and say for example this was x of lambda 1 and this was x of lambda 2. So this particular function used to map the sample point onto the real line, or we can say this particular function is mapping this sample point lambda 1 to some real value x of lambda 1 and this particular function lambda 2 to some real value x of lambda 2. So this was the idea behind the random variable. Now this particular symbol used to represent a random variable, then we write it down as x of lambda, and after some time we omitted this lambda and just x was our random variable. So what was the random variable? A random variable was a real valued function which used to take sample points as input and try to generate a real valued expression of that particular sample point, which in this case is x of lambda 1 and x of lambda 2. So let me extend this particular discussion. Now again I am performing a random experiment, and this particular random experiment contains a sample space as lambda 1 and lambda 2. This was our random variable x of lambda 1 and x of lambda 2. So this was your real random variable. Now let me index this particular real random variable with time. or let me add another dimension of time. So if I am able to write this x of lambda t as x of lambda 1 comma t comma x of lambda 2 comma t. So whenever this particular random variable is indexed with time, this particular expression is no more a random variable, rather it is known as a real random process. Let us try to understand what this particular expression is indicating. So I am performing an experiment from which I am getting this sample space as lambda 1 and lambda 2. Now what it is saying that now this lambda 1 is not mapped to x of lambda function, rather it is being mapped to x of lambda comma t. So this is your function which is x of lambda comma t. Now this function is again taking this lambda 1 as input and it is generating a time varying waveform for this particular sample point. So this waveform becomes lambda 1 comma t. And let me draw any particular waveform which is varying with time. This is your first waveform. This was the function. Now again this function will take this lambda 2 as input. This is your lambda comma t. And it will generate another waveform x of lambda 2 comma t. And this is the waveform. Now let us try to understand very carefully what is happening here. We have performed a random experiment. Based upon that, we have obtained a sample space. This sample space contains two sample points lambda 1 and lambda 2. Real random variable used to map this particular sample point to a real value, but real random process is mapping this particular sample point to a real time varying signal. So try to create the differentiation here that random variable used to map this particular sample point to a real value, but a random process is mapping this sample point to some real time varying signal. Now again you can observe here also that this is the random process which is taking this lambda 2 as input and it is generating a waveform lambda 2 comma t, which is nothing but a real time varying signal. So what you can say that whenever we pass a sample point to a random process, it generates a time varying function. So this sample is now being converted into a time varying function. So that is why each particular waveform is known as sample function. So this is also a sample function. This is also the function obtained by mapping this sample to the time varying signal. That is why it is also known as a sample function. So what you can say that this particular expression is also sample function and this particular expression is also sample function. And what is this? This is a random process. So you can define the random process as that random process is nothing but it is collection of sample functions. This collection is sometimes also known as ensemble. So sometimes it is also called as ensemble of sample functions. So let me reconnect all those things. I said that in case of random variable, a sample point is mapped to a real value, and in case of random process, a sample point is mapped to some time varying signal. Now if we have two sample points, then we will get two time varying signals, and the collection of these two time varying signals or the collection of these two sample functions will always result in a random process. So let me define finally what is a random process. So a real random process is nothing but a collection of, or sometimes it is also known as ensemble of, sample functions. And what is the sample functions? Sample functions are real time varying signal obtained by mapping each sample point to the function x of lambda comma t. So what is a real random process? A real random process is collection of sample functions. And what is a sample function? Sample function is nothing but it is the signal representation of each particular sample point. So these two observations are very important, that whenever you have to define a random process, you should follow this particular flow, that in case of sample space we will have some k number of sample points, and this will be your random variable. So this will be x of lambda 1, x of lambda 2 up to x of lambda k. Now if I will index the time dimension in this particular random variable, so what I will get will be a random process. So let me index with time. This is x of lambda comma t, this is x of lambda 2 comma t, this is x of lambda k comma t. So the random variable is mapping the sample points onto the real value. So all these points represents a real value on real line, and this random process is mapping all those sample points onto a time varying signal which is known as sample functions. So all these are time varying signal which is also known as sample functions. So I hope the differentiation is very clear, that in case of random variable, a sample point is mapped onto a real value on a real line, while in case of random process, each sample point is mapped to a time varying signal, and each time varying signal is known as sample functions, and the collection of these sample function represents a random process. Now let me give you another example. Say for example, I have a resistor and across this resistor I am connecting this particular emitter. I am not connecting any supply across it. So ideally what should be the reading of this emitter? The reading of this particular emitter should be 0, because no supply, either voltage or current, is connected across R. So this is your resistor. I did not connect any supply across it. I just connected this particular emitter, and the reading through this emitter will be 0. Ideally it should be 0. But what actually happens, that this particular resistor, it is made up of any material, say for example conductor. So this conductor will have some free charge carriers, and if this particular conductor is kept at room temperature, say 300 Kelvin, then this free charge carriers will have a random motion which is sometimes also known as Brownian motion. So because of this random motion of free charge carriers, because of this random motion of free charge carriers, there will be a random current. Obviously, the magnitude of this current will be very small, but we cannot neglect the nature of this current, or we should also acknowledge that there must be some random current. So what will be the reading of this particular ammeter? So I have connected this ammeter here, and this is the resistor. So in this case, the reading of the ammeter will be something like this. This is the reading of the ammeter, or the current through the resistor R. Obviously, this is a function of time, so I can also write it as current through resistor R at the function of t. And this current has a random nature. We know that net current due to this random motion will be 0. So we can also say that the average value of above waveform will be 0. So what I said, that I took a resistor and I connected an ammeter across it. Ideally, there should not be any reading in this particular ammeter because no power supply has been connected across this resistor. So no current will be observed and ammeter will show 0 reading. But what actually happens, that resistor is made of conductors, and in conductors there will be some free charge carriers, and at some temperature free charge carriers will have a random motion or Brownian motion. Because of this random motion of free charge carriers, there will be some random current. So the reading of ammeter will nothing but it will be a random current, or a current having random nature. So let me perform an experiment whose sample space is, this is an experiment and this is the sample space. Now the sample space contains different registers. So this is R1 register, say this is R2 register, and this is R3 register. So what I'm doing, I'm connecting these registers through an ammeter, and I'm trying to obtain the waveform of current. So I'm not connecting any supply across it, simply I'm connecting the resistor across it. So this is the resistor. Now I'm interested in the waveform of this particular ammeter. So I can write it as I of R comma t. So this is your I of R comma t. So what will happen when this R1 resistor is connected here? The waveform will be I of R1 comma t. Obviously, the nature of this particular waveform will be random. Similarly, if I will be connecting this R2 resistor here, so I will get a waveform which is a function of time for this particular resistance R2, and obviously it will also have some random nature. Similarly, for third resistance, when this third resistance is connected across this particular ammeter, then the reading of the ammeter will become I of R3 comma t, and it will become another random motion. Obviously, because three resistors are different, so the three random waveforms will be different. But what will be the common in these three random waveforms will be that the average value of all these three random waveforms will be 0. So what I can say, that if this is our sample point, then obviously this particular representation is nothing but a random process, because whenever this particular expression is taking this sample point as input, it is generating a time varying waveform. Similarly, here also this particular expression I of R comma t is taking this R2 as input and generating this particular time varying waveform, and so on. So this particular expression I of R comma t is fulfilling all the necessity requirements of a random process, that it is taking this R as input or the sample point as input and generating a particular time varying waveform. So this waveform is known as sample function. This is also known as sample function, and this is also known as sample function. And if I have to write I of R comma t, I can write it as collection of I of R1 comma t, that is the waveform with respect to R1, I of R2 comma t, I of R3 comma T. So this is the collection of sample functions or ensemble of sample functions. That is why it is known as a random process. So in this case, I have given you a practical example that how you can model a random process. So this was the case in which the need of the random process occurs, that whenever I have to represent the current across this emitter, we have to take the consideration of concept of random process, because the nature of all the currents are random with respect to different resistors. Now let us try to understand another example. Suppose we have a harmonic oscillator. So this is our harmonic oscillator. Suppose we have harmonic oscillator HA0. So what it will do? It will generate a time varying signal A0 cos omega naught t plus phi naught. For this particular harmonic oscillator, this A0, omega naught and phi naught will be fixed. Now I am choosing another one harmonic oscillator. This will also generate a time varying sinusoidal waveform. So this harmonic oscillator will have expression something like this. The amplitude is A1, frequency is omega 1 and it is phi 2. Now I am performing an experiment in which the sample space is nothing but these harmonic oscillators. So this is your first harmonic oscillator and this is second harmonic oscillator. Now what it will do, whenever I will choose this particular harmonic oscillator or this particular sample point, it will generate a time varying waveform which has some amplitude A0, some frequency omega naught and some phase phi naught. So what it will do, it will take this harmonic oscillator as input and generate a time varying waveform. Similarly, this harmonic oscillator is also acting as a sample point. So it will take this harmonic oscillator as input and this harmonic oscillator will generate a waveform whose amplitude is A1, whose frequency is slightly different and phase is also different. So here also you are mapping this particular sample point to a time varying signal and this particular sample point to a time varying signal. So this is your sample function. This is also your sample function, and the collection of these sample functions, which is in this case x of HA comma t, and it is the collection of HA0 comma t comma HA1 comma t, represents your random process. And here you should notice that what is the random in this particular case? The random in this particular case is amplitude, frequency as well as phase, because whenever this harmonic oscillator is being chosen, it is generating the amplitude as A0, frequency as omega naught and phase as phi naught, while whenever this particular harmonic oscillator is chosen, it is generating amplitude as A1, frequency as omega 1 and phase as phi 1. So depending upon the different sample points, the nature of amplitude is being changed, or I can say that this particular sample point is mapped to a real value of amplitude A0 and this particular sample point is mapped to a real value of A1. So basically this amplitude has random nature, because the amplitude, whether it will be A0 or A1, will depend whether this sample point HA0 or HA1 is chosen. The same case happens with frequency and phase. So in this particular case, we can observe both the random nature as well as the time varying nature. The randomness lies in the amplitude, phase and frequency, because this changes as the sample point changes. Whenever harmonic oscillator 0 is selected, the amplitude, phase, frequency is different, and whenever harmonic oscillator 1 is selected, the amplitude, phase and frequency is different, and the time varying behavior we have already discussed. So finally, we must have a basic idea of a random process, that a random process is nothing but a collection of sample functions, and each sample function is obtained by mapping the sample point to some time varying signal. Now let us try to discuss few other points. Suppose we have performed an experiment in which the sample space has two sample points. So this is the sample space, and now this is our random process. So this is the random process x of lambda comma t. So this random process will map this sample point x of lambda 1 comma t to a time varying signal. So this is the time varying signal. Now this particular function will map this lambda 2 to some time varying function, and let me call it as lambda 2 comma t. So this is the second sample function. This is first sample function, and this is second sample function, and the collection of these sample functions are known as random process. So now what I'm doing here, this is the time varying axis. So the time is changing as we are moving from here. So at each instant time is different. Here also at each instant time is different. So time is different at each particular instance. What I am trying to do, I just want to fix a particular instance t1. So I just want to observe the complete process at some particular instance t equal to t1. So let us try to understand what it will happen. Whenever I will fix the time t equal to t1, you can very clearly see that at t is equal to t1, I will obtain this particular sample value. Similarly, here it will also be at t equal to t1. So here I will get some particular value here. Now let us try to obtain the mapping again for t equal to t1. So at t equal to t1, the random experiment is same, the sample points are same, lambda 1 and lambda 2, but the time has already been fixed. So now in this case, this function will become lambda comma t1. Now what this function will do, this function will take this lambda 1 as input and it will map it to some x of lambda 1 comma t1. What is lambda 1 comma t1? This was the graph of lambda comma t, and at particular t1 it will have only a sample value. So this will have some real sample value. Similarly, whenever lambda 2 is mapped through this particular function, so it will become x of lambda 2 comma t2, and this lambda 2 comma t1, this will be x of lambda 2 comma t1. So this x of lambda 2 comma t1 will be the sample value of this particular signal, because this signal is lambda 2 comma t. If I will put t1 here, so I will get this particular sample value. So this we get real sample value. Now let us try to understand what is happening here. What you are doing, that you are taking this sample point as input and it mapping it to some real sample value or real valued point. Similarly, you are taking this sample point as input and mapping it to some real value. So you can say that whenever any sample point is being mapped to real value by any function, then that particular function is known as a random variable. So try to understand very clearly what is happening here, that in this case this x of lambda comma t was random process because each sample point was being mapped to some time varying signal. Whenever I fix the time, whenever the time is being fixed, in all that cases the sample point is no longer being mapped to time varying signal, rather it is being mapped to some real value. So we can say that whenever a random process is observed at a particular instance t equal to t1, it clearly behaves as a random variable. So whenever any random process is observed at any time instant t equal to t1, it is very clearly behaving as a random variable. So this x of lambda comma t was x of lambda 1 comma t comma x of lambda 2 comma t. So this was your random process. Now I observed it at t equal to t1. So this was your sample function. This was also your sample function. Now whenever I observed it at t equal to t1, it becomes lambda 1 comma t1 comma lambda 2 comma t2. Whenever time is fixed at t equal to t1, this sample function becomes a sample value. So the sample function at t equal to t1 gives a sample value. This is also giving the sample value. And we know that whenever the sample points are being mapped to sample value, then that particular function is known as random variable. So you can also write it something like this, that this was your random process x of t. The random process was collection of sample functions. So lambda 1 comma t, lambda 2 comma t. This is the random process x of lambda comma t, and these two functions are sample function. It is also a sample function. Now I am observing it at some particular instant t equal to t1. So it becomes lambda 1 comma t1. So the function becomes lambda 1 comma t1 comma lambda 2 comma t2. Whenever the time is fixed, this sample function is behaving as a sample value. This is also a sample value, and this is also known as sample value. Now whenever sample point is being mapped to the sample value, so this particular expression or this function is known as random variable. So whenever any random process, which is x of lambda comma t, is being observed at some instance t equal to t1, then this particular expression behaves as a random variable. So this is your random process, and when this random process is being observed at a particular instance, then this behaves as a random variable. So you can also write it as x of lambda equal to, this will be t1, lambda 1 x of lambda 2, or x of lambda equal to x1 comma x2, or I can write it as x of x1 comma x2. So these x1 x2 is nothing but values taken by the random variable. So let me classify all these expressions which we have discussed till now. So first one is x of lambda comma t. In this case, both t and lambda are variable. So first of all, we will choose lambda, and based upon that each time varying waveform will be generated. So this is a random process, and it will always represent collection of time varying waveforms. Now the same expression I am writing, x of lambda 1 comma t. So this is your lambda 1 comma t. In this case, lambda 1 is fixed, which means sample point is single and it is being mapped through some time varying waveform. So this particular expression, you can write it as sample function, and it will always give a single waveform. Similarly, what about this particular expression? In this particular expression, we are observing our random process at a particular time instant, so it will behave as a random variable. So it is a random variable. And finally, lambda 1 comma t1. So in this case, what we are doing, we are fixing the sample point, and first of all we are going to the time varying waveform, and that time varying waveform is also being observed at a particular time instant, so it will always give the sample value or the values taken by random variable. So this will give the values taken by random variable. So these four expressions should be very clear to you, that whenever x of lambda comma t is written, it is basically representing a random process, and whenever lambda is fixed, it means a sample point has been fixed and you are mapping it to a time varying function, so it will represent a sample function. Similarly, whenever x of lambda comma t1 is written, in that case you are observing all the waveforms or all the sample points at a particular instance t1, so it will behave as a random variable, and when both lambda and t are fixed, in that case it will represent a sample value or the value taken by the random variable. So finally, we have obtained an expression for a random process, that a random process is obtained by varying both lambda and t. When both changes, then we get collection of waveforms or a number of waveforms, and the collection of those waveforms will be known as random process. So till now we have discussed that this x of lambda comma t represents a random process only when this lambda is variable and this t is also variable. So depending upon whether lambda is fixed first then time is varied, or whether time is fixed first then lambda is varied, we get two different definitions of the random process. So first of all, I am fixing the lambda and t is varied for each lambda. So what you will get, this is lambda comma t. First of all, fix the lambda to lambda 1, then vary the time. So you will get a sample function, then fix the lambda to lambda 2, then vary in time. You will get another sample function, lambda 3 up to x of lambda k comma t. So all these waveforms will represent a sample function, or you can say that the random process is collection of sample functions. So this definition we have understood earlier also. Now what you can do, you can also cover all the sample functions by changing the order. In this order what I am doing, first t is fixed, then lambda is varied. So what it will happen here, first of all you will fix the t. So this is t1, and then all the lambda values should be varied. Then again you will fix the time t2, all the lambda values will be varied, and again you will fix the time tk and all the lambda values will be varied. We know that whenever time is fixed for any random process, it starts behaving as a random variable. So another definition of random process which is very popular is that it is nothing but collection of random variables. So we get two definitions of the random process. One is ensemble or collection of random functions or sample functions, and another one is collection of random variables. Now let us try to understand what graphically it will represent. Here you are having lambda 1 and lambda 2, and here this particular random process will map this lambda 1 onto some real line, So this is your x of lambda 1 comma t, and this will map this x of lambda 2 comma t to x of lambda 2 comma t. So this is another waveform. So what it is doing here is, first of all, it is fixing the time. So let me fix this particular time. Suppose this time is t1. Then it is mapping lambda. So this overall is lambda, and lambda has two values, lambda 1 and lambda 2. So it is mapping this lambda to this particular point and this particular lambda to here. For mapping this lambda, it is using a random variable x of lambda comma t1. So for another time instance, say t2, it is first of all fixing the time instance t2. So t2 is fixed, then all the lambdas are being mapped. So now this lambda 1 will be mapped to this particular point, and this lambda 2 will be mapped to this particular point. And now this mapping is being performed by another random variable, which is lambda comma t2. So if we choose these two sample instances very close, then we can see that by tracking all these points, we are able to obtain all the collection of the sample function, because at t equal to t1 you get these 2 points of the sample function, at t equal to t2 you got these two sample functions. Now if I have chosen this t2 and t1 very closely, then I would have been tracking this point on the next sampling instance, this point on the next sampling instance, this point on the next sampling instance, and by tracking all those points, basically you are able to cover all the functions, or you are able to get the collection of sample functions. So this collection of random variables will invariably results in collection of the sample functions. So whether you fix the lambda first or vary time, or whether you fix time first or vary lambda, ultimately what you are going to get, you are going to get the time behavior of each sample function at each time instance, or you are going to get the sample value at each time instance for each sample point. So the bottom line is that you have to remember the definitions of random process, that it is a collection of sample functions or it is a collection of random variable. Both will ultimately result the collection of sample functions. So that is it from this lecture. Thank you.
So hopefully we have understood every concept in this class. If you have any doubt in any concept, you can let me know in the comment section. I'll try to resolve that thing. Apart from that, you can also follow me on various social media platforms. For example, you can join this Telegram group where you will be getting important notification, important updates. This is Telegram group where you can also comment, you can ask your queries, or maybe you can also suggest me for the improvement. Apart from that, this is my Unacademy profile. On this Unacademy profile, you should also follow me so that you can get the important updates of the Unacademy also, right? And this is the Notion page. You just have to type this tiny.cc/VishalGate. So you will be redirected to a page where all the special classes are arranged very systematically. तो मैंने बहुत सारे टॉपिक्स पे स्पेशल क्लास ले रखी है. फॉर एग्जांपल नाइक्विस्ट, फूरियर सीरीज, latches and flip flop, double integrations, okay, lot of things are there. So you will be getting all these concepts absolutely free of cost. You just have to type this in your URL, you will be redirected to that page and attend these lectures one by one. You will be getting a next level confidence in these topics, that I can guarantee you. Now this is the Notion page of your YouTube, on which you will be getting the links of the YouTube. Apart from that, you will be also getting the PDFs of that particular lecture. So this is very important for you, and just you have to type http://bit.ly/gatelive. So Gatelive, you just have to type it in the capital so that you can access all the lectures link and PDF arranged systematically. So if you want to attend or you want to clear the examination with the free resource, then this is the channel for you. This is the best recorded videos which has been ever made. You just have to go to that lecture, just click the link and download the PDF and start studying systematically. So we have also done this for you so that any student, whether he is sitting any part of this country, should not face the difficulty in cracking the examination, whether he can afford or he cannot. Now if you can afford, then the subscription prices are not something which you cannot pay. It is very nominal amount which you can pay, and you can just avoid all the distractions, all the time wastage which we will be doing in downloading those PDFs, arranging them, arranging for the test series, and a lot of other things that you have to arrange, doubt solvings you have to arrange by yourself. If you want to avoid all those distractions in a very nominal amount, so you can go for the Unacademy Plus subscription. For 12-month subscription, you have to pay only 74 rupees per day. Apart from that, for 18-month subscription, which is the best possible subscription, you have to pay 63 rupees per day. It is even lesser than the pizzas that you order on your home. So it is that much of amount that can shape your career, that can give you the best possible rank in the examinations under the guidance of the best teachers of the country, which has been right now placed on the Unacademy. Now 24-month subscription will cost you 54 rupees per day. So these subscription amounts will give you the subscription for the desired period. Apart from that, if you are using this code, you just have to remember this code, write my name, write GATE after it. You can also write ESC after it. So you have to write my name and write ESC after it. So any one of these code, once you apply, you will be immediately getting the 10% discount. You will be getting all the features of the Unacademy. You will be getting the guidance of all the teachers present on Unacademy, and everything you will be getting that is needed to crack the examination once you are using this code. So if you think we are working hard, we are giving our best content, we are giving the free content absolutely for you guys, and everything that is needed for every student to crack the examination. So never forget to use this code whenever you are taking the subscription. So this code is very important and you have to use every time you are taking the subscription. Now, those who are interested for the prices, total price amount. So let me tell you, total price is 27,225 for 12 months, 34,650 for 18, and for 24 months it is 39,600. You can also pay this by using zero cost EMI. Zero cost EMI can be paid by credit card and debit card. In debit cards, there are only Bajaj and HDFC as of now available. Okay, so this zero cost EMI means you do not have to pay anything extra. Any interest is not, you should not pay, and you have to pay this much of amount on the daily basis if you are looking for the zero cost EMI option. Apart from that, if you are coming for Iconic subscription, so Iconic mein, I have already told you that your personal coach will be the game changer. He will be he will be basically following you to give you the guidance so that you can get the success in a very short span of time. So he will be following you, he will be pushing you every time. Now, once you use this coupon code, this will be costing you around 45,225, and if you are using this coupon code, write my name, GATE after it, you will be getting the 24-month subscription of Iconic in 66,600 rupees. Fine. Apart from that, every one of you should follow this GATE aspirant group, and there also some important notification always comes. Now, what are the YouTube channels that you should immediately subscribe? This Creatrix, this is the channel on which you are present. This is Unacademy GATE questions, where previous year questions has been solved by the educators. So you'll be getting all the previous year questions video solution apart from the PDF also. This is the Electrical Junction channel, where you will be getting the important concepts of EC and electrical. And this is Engineering Pathshala, where you will be getting some practical aspect of the videos, some animated videos that will enhance your ability to think. So these are the channels which you should immediately subscribe so that you can get a better content. Fine. Now these are my some YouTube videos which I have created for you. In all of these videos will give you some motivation, guidance, content, and some strategy. So these are hand-picked videos. You can immediately follow these videos. Okay. So thank you so much. And those who are coming on this channel, immediately share all the content which is present on this channel. We are working very hard for you guys. So this is your responsibility that you should share this channel. You should subscribe this channel. Also share the link of this channel, link of the videos, link of the educator whom you follow, so that every student who is needy, they can come onto this channel and they can get the best possible rank. So all the best everyone. Let's crack it.